Hello, fifth graders. Today we're going to start our new unit in science on force and motion, and that's going to lead us to simple machines. The way that these new science lessons are going to work is that you're going to watch this like you would watch a flipped lesson, and in your Google Classroom you have an attachment called a student activity book. In the student activity book, you're going to follow along like you would with a flipped lesson, fill in some notes, and you're going to complete pages 1 and 2 while watching this video. So let's go ahead and continue on. This is lesson 1. At the top of your student activity packet, you should find where it says lesson 1. Lesson 1's learning target is I can explain what a force and a motion are and identify examples of both. This is written for you on your lesson 1 of your student activity packet, but next to it, it has some important words, and you need to type in the definitions of these important words. Our important words of the day are force and motion. Force is a push or a pull on an object that causes it to move, stop, or change direction. Motion is the changing of the location of an object from one place to another. So it was on my left side and then I pushed it to my right. Please pause and type these definitions into your student activity packet. All right, friends, what is a force? A force is a push or a pull motion. In this example, there is a ball sitting on the top of a slide. That ball will sit there. It will stay at rest until something sets it in motion. If I were to push it down the slide, then that would be a push motion. So my cause would be it's sitting there and I pushed it, and then the effect is that it would go rolling down the slide. So this would be an example of a push motion. It would also change the position of the ball. It was at the top of the slide and now it is at the bottom of the slide, which means that it moved its position. Another example is skateboarding down the street. Well, let's think. When I skateboard, I have to push my foot against the ground. So my cause, my why that makes me move is I push my foot against the ground, and that makes me move myself forward. So that's another example of a push motion. Well, let's see. What if we are playing tug of war? Well, let's think. If I'm doing tug of war, am I pushing something away or am I pulling it towards me? Let's see, I know that when I play tug of war, I pull towards me. I'm pulling away from the middle. Both sides are pulling. So this is an example of a pull motion. And if you're strong enough and you win, the team that pulls the hardest will pull the other team closer to them. So we had an example of push, and this is an example of pull. What about if we're on a teeter-totter or a seesaw? Let's see, if I push against the ground, then that's going to make me go up. So, it says both. Let's see, if I push against the ground, then gravity is going to pull me back down. So this is an example of both. When I go up, I'm pushing. When I go down, I'm being pulled back to the ground or pushed by the other person. So the seesaw goes up and down. All right, friends, this is where we're going to get back to your student activity packet. In your student activity packet, there's a page on the bottom, page 2, that matches just like this. So we're going to do a couple examples together. You can pause and write down the examples as I describe them. So here's an example. The boy is pulling the washing machine. So he's grabbing it and pulling it towards him. The effect is that the washing machine is now closer to the boy. Well, let's think. What about riding a bike? Riding a bike, the boy has to push down on the pedal. So that's a pushing motion, and the effect is that the bike moves forward. So this is where you need to pause and type these into your student activity packet. Our next example is a vacuum. When you vacuum, do you pull it towards you? Or do you push it away? Well, let's see, you need to push it away, but then you pull it towards you. So this is an example of both. It is both a push and a pull, and the effect is that the vacuum goes back and forth. Again, pause now and complete this on page 2 of your student activity packet. All right, friends, that's it for this part of the video. You still have page 3 of the student activity packet to complete. You can do this on your own, or you can wait until our office hours and we're going to discuss this together. There's also a Flipgrid activity if you have some extra time. Make sure before you finish that you go to your page 4 in your student activity packet. You complete the journal and the reflection in your student activity pages. Great job, 5th graders. Have fun with lesson 1.